Oh, hey everybody, Jeremy here, and welcome to another Engage vlog. 2020 has been an absolutely brutal year for all of us, and I don't think I need to tell you that just because 2021 is rolling around, just because we're going to flip the calendar doesn't mean poof, all of our problems and all these crises that we've had to endure are just going to magically disappear. If anything, I see 2021 as a stepping stone, albeit a really stretched out and prolonged stepping stone towards something hopefully better, because just because we're coming to 2021, it's not going to be a flick of the light switch and have everything turn back to normal or even better. It's going to take a lot of work for the coming year, and unless you had some kind of premonition or incredible foresight to maybe dump a ton of money into stocks for whomever makes Zoom or Lysol products or face masks, 2020 had to be rough for you. For me personally, looking back, 2020 marked the end of an incredible, phenomenal, unforgettable experience that I had to be part of a founding faculty for a brand new middle school. And then of course came the pandemic, which I don't need to explain to any of you how difficult that's been. For me personally, that led to making the difficult decision to uproot my life out of Los Angeles, where I've been living on my own for the past 9 years, and come back to the East Coast where I'm from originally, and I've vlogged about that decision here. It was a very tough call, a very difficult decision for me to make, to say the least, and I did so before the Thanksgiving rush. But make no mistake, I'm incredibly grateful for having that option even exist in the first place. It's not a card that I know everybody can play out there, obviously, and can't say enough how grateful I am to my family to allow me to come back home, and how grateful I am for the friends and family I have back in Los Angeles, who I really hope are staying healthy and safe, as I know the case numbers are getting progressively more and more grim out there for COVID. I'm so grateful for all of them, doing their best to keep my mental health up and playing games online every so often, and all the phone calls and texts and video chats. I'm so grateful to the family and friends who helped make the move possible. It was just not an easy one to make on my own. I mean, imagine it, right? You having to pick up everything and moving not just across town, but all the way to the other side of the country. No easy thing to do, but that's what I did because I just felt after so long I really needed to hit the reset button, and that's where we are today. I also want to say how truly thankful I am for all of you watching right now, and for all of you who have continued to subscribe to Engage, even while the show has gone dormant for a little while as I've been making this huge life change. And for all of you who have been actively sharing the show with all of your teacher friends and your game designer friends, and even kids and teens who are currently attending school right now who are really wishing that school was just different, I mean, looking past, obviously, the challenges of distance learning and remote learning, just school in general, whether you're doing it virtually or in person, really wishing that school was different, not just more fun and engaging, but more relevant, more meaningful, more impactful to what's going on in your life right now. And that's why I started making Engage in the first place, because I got so excited about learning about what I didn't know, And when I started learning about things like educational live action roleplay, for instance, or EduLARP, I thought about all the other teachers, all the other students, all the other school administrators, and all the other parents out there who'd probably react the same way that I did, and going, wait, that's a thing? Is that a thing that could be done at our school? How do we even do that? Can we do that thing? Can we do that thing? How do we even do that thing? And I've got literally an entire whiteboard full of content planned for the show, some of which has been brewing for quite some time, and I just haven't produced it because life keeps getting in the way. Ergo 2020, right? But with your continued support, with you subscribing to the show, with you sharing the show and helping me grow my audience, and even considering to support the show directly on Patreon, I can make more of this happen. I have blurred out a lot of what's in this image because I don't want to tip my hand entirely to you, but I'll share with you at least the categories of content that I have planned so far. One being, of course, the type of content that's been produced for the channel to date, which has been your more traditional Engage, I guess you could say, where we explore a game or a particular game format, what is required in order to play the game in the first place, and then also dig into why you'd want to bring in this game or this game format into your classroom or learning environment. I know for me, when I go to educational conferences and I sit down into a session where it sounds like they're going to get into something really exciting, and then they talk for like a whole hour about what the thing is, but then don't really explain like, okay, well, how do I actually make this happen in my classroom? Because there are all kinds of challenges that teachers face all the time, and then they just leave. It's like, okay, well, that was cool and inspiring, but it didn't really help. So I want to inspire, but I actually want to help with the practical details as well. And that's category number 1. Category number 2, tutorials. We promised on the last full episode of Engage that we dig into the Portal 2 level editor, for instance. But that's just the beginning. I want to get into Fortnite for education and Minecraft. Ideally, in the long term, how to design your own EduLARP experience or transmedia and ARG experience in the sense of alternate reality games. Really, the sky's the limit in that category. And then category number 3 is more interview content, and that's actually part of how the show started back in the day with that EduLARP episode, is we started interviewing game designers that we had the wonderful opportunity to meet who are really pushing the envelope in what's possible in the classroom. And I want to do more of that because I want to promote the people who are doing this fantastic work. And maybe, if we're lucky, interview game designers out there who have crafted incredible experiences that were not necessarily intended from the ground up to be leveraged for educational purposes, but would be equally blown away by how that is done or how that could be done, and maybe talk about how that could influence the future of other games to come. So that's it for now, everybody. Thank you again so much for continuing to support Engage by subscribing, by sharing the show, by continuing to support Engage directly at patreon.com/EngageShow. I really appreciate all of your support, and I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you all have a safe and healthy new year. Here's to 2021. Let's make it better. It's going to take a lot of work, but we can do it. See you.